Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of State of Survival with Sticky Fang Gaming. And yes, I am back. I felt like I needed to make a video after I heard about this new event that came out, the Azurtane Heist, and I heard it was super interesting, so I decided to go ahead and give it a try, and I recorded it for you guys. And I'll just kind of give you my tips and what I experienced with this event. And yeah, I'm sorry I haven't posted in like 5 months, but I'm back. I've been playing the game. I've been logging in every day, getting close to about 700 days in consecutive login. So that's interesting. But enough about that. I'm glad to be back, and let's get into the action. So when the event first started, it has about like a minute or so of a kind of like a prep phase, I guess you could say. I sped up the footage, as you can see, just so you guys don't have to sit through an entire hour of coverage. So this video should probably be about 20 minutes. So hopefully you stay with me throughout the video. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about what my strategy was going into this event. So this event is very similar to another event that another game has, King of Avalon, if you ever played it, from the Dragonlands event. And so the whole point of this is to gather as much of the gas as possible. You can attack people's settlements, but you can attack their the buildings that they're gathering from. And so my goal was to stay around the level 2 areas, because level 3s are obviously going to be for those maxed out P8 players. You don't want to mess with them. Level 1s are going to be for the smaller players. Maybe if you're kind of new to the game, maybe your state doesn't have plasma yet, or maybe you just don't have like decent stats. When I say decent, I mean like stats around 600 or more, then you probably want to stay around level 1. My stats are pretty decent. I'm about 800-ish. So I stayed around level 2. I'm a P5. I haven't gotten to P8. Probably won't get there for a long time. And my goal was to constantly make sure that my troops are out gathering. Because this is the first time I've done this event, I really didn't know what to expect or what to do, so I just tried to play it as safe as possible at the beginning. So as you can see on the screen here, things are moving kind of quick, but I have about 4 marches out onto level 2 gathering spots. I just put a 5th one out to level 2 gathering spot. I'm getting attacked from other players. I'm trying to just hold on as much as I can. There are little gas canisters, I want to say, that pop out from the buildings every once in a while. So make sure that you have 2 march slots available to go gather those. So my suggestion would be probably send 4 marches out, and then keep 2 march slots available to go get those gas canisters that kind of pop out, because sometimes you'll get lucky and get like another 1,000 gas, or maybe even more sometimes. And you can just be really quick with it too. If you are a super low player and you are having a hard time even holding on to a level 1 building, what I would suggest is maybe coming over to the level 2 and 3 areas, because they can hit your settlement. And you can just kind of poach off the gas that falls off, if you know what I mean. You can just like wait around, keep scrolling around, and try to poach that gas that comes off. Another big thing with this event is you don't want to stay idle. You don't want to just send your troops away and then just sit in your settlement or log out of the game or anything like that. You want to stay attentive throughout this entire event, because it's very fast paced. If you log off the game or close the app or something like that, you could get hit and not know it. And you need to respond to that. Either hitting them back with your better heroes, or finding someone else who looks like you could be able to beat and knock them out of a building and taking that one. That's kind of how I was getting a lot of points in the beginning. I would take a building and I would be getting hit. Like now, I move my troops out. If I feel like I can't beat that person, and I just go for someone else who I possibly can beat. The one thing that you want to keep in mind is that you do have to use the stamina that they give you in this event. It does replenish very quickly. It replenishes 1 stamina every 6 seconds, and you need 20 stamina to go for the buildings. So it's very quick. However, if you're like firing off constantly, like you're constantly having to pull your troops from a P8 that's like tracking you down, or you just have a bunch of people around you that you're fighting these buildings for, you may run out of stamina pretty quickly, just coming back and forth. You can buy more stamina with biocaps, and you'll see kind of later on in this video, because I am bouncing around so much. I didn't know this at first, about the whole stamina thing. So I did run out, and I had about 8,000 bio caps that I had sitting around. So I did use some bio caps. You don't have to if you don't have them, if you don't want to use them, but I did just to keep my stamina up. And it looks like that you don't use stamina to get the gas that's falling off the buildings, as you see here. I just got a couple of them and didn't use any gas at all, or any chief stamina, sorry, to get that gas. So as you can see here, very fast paced. We had a lot of really strong guys in the battlefield that I was in. Overlord was really strong. Librarian was really strong. Some guy named I don't know how to play. He was super strong, and I think he ended up coming in first place. But I was having a hard time in the area I was in, so I poured over to another area that was less populated, and I went ahead and started to take most of the buildings that was around me. As you can see here, this is the part where I ran out of stamina and I used some bio caps to get some. Note something that you should remember is that when you are buying more stamina with bio caps, it gradually increases. So I don't remember how much it was at the beginning. You just saw it on the screen if you want to go ahead and play it back and see. But it goes up from like 50 to 100 to eventually I was paying like 200 bio caps every time I wanted to get 10 chief stamina for this event. So it can get pretty dicey out there. Definitely conserve your stamina as much as possible. Luckily enough, I did have enough by the end of it where I didn't have to worry about it too much. This right here, this is like an earthquake thing that they have where basically a bunch of exploding buildings come on the scene. And this is actually extremely important. You want to get these buildings as fast as you can. So once it says that you have 60 seconds before these buildings come, you want to go ahead and pull your marches and get all your marches ready to get these buildings as fast as you can, because they explode and you get a bunch of gas from them, and it's really quick. You can get like 3,000 gas in like 30 seconds or something like that. It was insane. And this is kind of how I was able to get up high in the rankings. I started out pretty low, I think in like the top 40 or something like that. But after this first earthquake event happened, and I just kind of like spammed my marches in all these buildings as quickly as I could. As soon as marches came back, I sent them back out again. I think I was about number 12 in this event. And this is my very first time ever trying this event. So I didn't really know what was going on and what was happening. But again, from past experience with a different game, I was like, this is kind of important, especially if I'm getting gas this quickly. I'm sure this is going to help me out in the ranks. So again, when they say like, hey, this is happening in 60 seconds, get your marchers back at home and be prepared to go ahead and start spamming buildings. They do disappear eventually, as you see on the screen. It was saying like target no longer exists. That's because the event like ended, but it will come back. I want to say 2 more times. And so another reason why you don't really want to log off the game is because you can miss something like that. So now that that ended, you go back to just gathering from the buildings again. You go ahead and look and see who you possibly can knock off, check your stamina, and then you go ahead and start sending your troops off. As you can see, I'm low on stamina again, so I'm probably going to get more with biocaps. And just got to gather. There were some slow moments where I was just kind of sitting around, just gathering, waiting for either the combustible buildings that give you a lot of gas really quickly, and I was really, really waiting for the center to open. I didn't know how important the center was, but when it does open, I'll talk more about that. So, sorry, just seeing some people saying, hey, Sticky Fang, that was pretty cool. I really missed you guys these last couple months. I really did miss you. And I hope you guys enjoy the future content that's coming out. I'll talk about the heroes. I'll talk about future updates and whatnot. I'll be a lot more active because I have a lot more free time now. So that's nice. Now, going back to this event, about 30 minutes left. I want to say that the last 15 minutes of this event is when the center will open. And again, once we get there, I'll talk about why it's important and how important it is. It's really hard. It's extremely hard, and it's super laggy, and it's going to make your game crash. It crashed my game. I had to cut the video, reload the game, and then start recording again. But yeah, so I'm getting attacked by this guy. He hits me. These guys, like, Again, I haven't been playing a whole lot these last couple months. I have kept up with like new heroes coming out and just like doing small things here and there. Obviously, I've not been rushing my plasma. I do not have T11, but I've seen stats from this event where guys were like 1,000%. That blows my mind. I remember back when this game was like you get 300% stats and you're the boss. So it's crazy to see how this game is going. It's kind of exciting. Because I'm gonna start playing more often. Hopefully, I will gradually start to get my stats back up again. And let's see here, just a lot of attacking at this point. Attacking and watching. This is one of the slow moments, waiting for something to happen. So for future videos, guys, just let me know what you would like to see. If you want me to talk more about the heroes, or if you want me to talk about the summertime event that's coming up, or state migrations, which we were promised last year, but now apparently we'll be getting them in October. Let me know. Definitely let me know. All right, so I'm just looking around. So again, always scroll and see who's around you, see what their troop levels are, if they're using T10 or T11. Being prepared for when your troops return to go attack someone else. At this point, I think I was just kind of being a jerk and just hitting people just to hit them off, and then stealing the gas that was popping off of it as well. I kind of do wish you could hit settlements in this event just for, fun, but I do get that it probably wouldn't be very fair to like lower level players. It kind of was already stacked because the top 5 people that I think won this event for this battleground were all P8. So it was pretty hard. Even as a P5 player, I was having a pretty difficult time keeping up into the top 10. Another tip is to always make sure that you're checking your rankings very often. As you can see, I check the rankings super often when I'm playing this event, just because I want to constantly make sure, like, am I dropping? Are more people getting more gas than me? If they were getting more gas than me, I wanted to figure out maybe I was doing something wrong because it was my first time. But so far, I was doing pretty good. I believe I was still in 12th place at this point. But the Exploding City event should be starting here soon. I believe it starts at 20 minutes. And then that's when I'll kind of boost my rank up just a little bit. So you can get attacked by people. The Librarian. 1 billion power. Insane. Been playing the game for almost 700 days and not even close to 1 billion power. Are you getting attacked some more? 5 minutes until the middle opens. All right, so the eruptive gas field is about to happen again. Getting my troops ready. I got most of my troops at home. All right, so they start to pop up, and as you can see, I immediately just start sending troops to them. Immediately, just spamming it. It says inefficient march slots. That means I don't have any more troops to send out, but I know there's one coming back very soon because these guys gather quick. It's like they go, they gather, it explodes, and they come home, and you just spam it. Just do it as quickly as you can. That's the best way to do this part of the event. And I think it's 2 stages. It says 2 out of 21, but I didn't see any further stages past 2. It only did 2 stages for me, which I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen, but and I saw those other weird buildings too. I didn't really know what they were, but I went to them and they gathered kind of quick too. I'll have to read up more on that just because I'm still not familiar with what that specific building was. I never read the rules or the details for this event. I literally just saw it on the event center and I registered. So sorry if I'm not super knowledgeable about it, but my strategy did seem to do pretty well. All right, so the eruption event ended, and now I'm just going straight back to just gathering. and the center just opened. And now here's when the craziness begins. So when this first happened, I sent a march to the center, and I tried to send a second one, but you can only send one march at a time. So I sent it, and then I noticed that my game started to lag extremely bad, and that's because, as you can see, everyone's just sitting to the center. And I was just like, oh man, well, this is pointless. Like, if everybody's sitting to the center, no one's ever going to hold it for more than a couple seconds. I thought that you would get gas by how much time you set on the center, and then the gas gets sent back to you directly. But after my game crashed and I looked back at the center, which, is happening just now, the video skips a little bit because the game crashed. I actually read the description for the center, and it has a leaderboards option. And so basically for the center, it goes by who holds it the longest, over time. So let's say I send to the center and I hold it for 2 seconds. Someone knocks me out. I get sent back home, and then I send again. Someone knocks me out after another 2 seconds. Now I have 4 seconds, and then it calculates how much time you've held the center over the span of the entire event. So that's how the leaderboards calculate, and it actually gives you quite a bit of gas. So if you're a bigger player and you're fighting for like the number one spot with another guy who's pretty close to you in gas, if you hold the center longer than they do, you might squeeze out that first place spot. For me, because I was in about 12th place for most of the event, because I held the center for so long, I think my total was like maybe 20 seconds or something like that. I was actually able to get 9th place in this event by the end of it with not really that good stats. My stats aren't that great. My chief gear is not maxed. Don't really have the best heroes. My badges are not maxed. I'm only P5, and I was actually able to get 9th place in this event against a bunch of P8s. If you are HQ30 still, or maybe just a P3 or just a P5 like myself, you can do well in this event if you follow these tips. And so as you can see here, I poured it closer, and now I'm constantly going to be sending my troops after I figure out that I can get so much more gas by the end of the event if I just hold for a longer period of time. I still have 5 marches out gathering on buildings, but I'm closer to the center now, and I'm now hitting the center like more time. So I just poured it closer, sending my troops back out to where they were, and now I'm going to be sending a march to the capital constantly. Having to use my bio caps, which kind of sucked. I used about 6,000 by the end of this event, which is not bad, but you don't want to be wasting bio caps. This was my first time, so I was like, it's worth it. So just to recap, we're coming close to the end. About 5 minutes left in game, and because it's sped up, it'll end pretty quickly. But tip number 1, always keep your troops gathering. Avoid as much conflict as you can. Pick your battles as best as you can. Don't mess with P8s unless you are a P8. If you're maxed out, then you can pretty much hit whoever. If you piss off the wrong people, though, they might just try to like double team you. So probably not the smartest decision. If you are a decent player, stick to level 2. Top players go for level 3. If you are a low player, go to level 1 and just make sure that you are gathering as much as you can. If you are sticking to level 1, unfortunately, it doesn't like you're going to be able to break into the top 10 of the leaderboards. If you are sticking to level 2, you definitely can stick to top 10 in the leaderboards, because that's what I did. And if you are sticking to level 3, you will most likely get top 5 for this event, which is a pretty big deal. Let's see what else. Always keep your camera moving, making sure you're getting that gas that kind of leaks out of the buildings whenever they get hit, or you knock someone out, or sometimes they just pop up. And then when the gas eruption event happens, get those as quickly as you can. Get those super fast, because that 3,000 that you get after like 30 seconds and you have 5 marches out getting those, it's going to boost your rankings up a lot. And so the event is ending, and I ended with 9th place out of 248 people. I think that's pretty darn good considering it was my first time in this event, and I'm not the biggest player in the world. So that is my tips. That was the Azurtane Heist event. I had a lot of fun. I've heard a lot of people say like the matching was kind of messed up, which, yeah, the matching kind of, I wouldn't say it sucked because I understand they're trying to give a broad variety between like low players and high players. You can't just put all high players in one area because then no one will go for level ones. Um, I've heard a lot of people complain about the event, which is okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I did have a fun time with this event. And if you haven't played it yet, or if you've kind of been playing it and not able to get in those top ranks, try this strategy out like I've been talking about for the last 20 minutes or so. Try it out. Tell me if it works for you. I really liked it. I had fun. I'll probably be doing this event every time it comes from now on, and I'll go ahead and announce it in the Discord before I actually do it. That way you guys can join me and possibly get linked into the server that I pop into for the time slots. But yeah, guys, I hope that you liked this video. More coming very soon. Again, let me know in the comments of what you would like to see in the future. Join the Discord. I'll try to clean it up a little bit because it has been a while. If you unsubscribe because I've been away for a long time, I completely understand. But go ahead and hit subscribe back again because more content coming very, very soon. Super excited to be making more videos for you. And until next time, this has been another episode of State of Survival with Sticky Fang Gaming.